Hello Internet, Ethnomusicology Explained here to bring you 10 musical facts you probably didn't know. Number 1. The word cool was originally coined to describe jazz music in the 1930s. The word is attributed to Lester Young, who came to prominence while performing in Count Basie's orchestra. He is also credited as the first person to use the term bread to refer to money. When asked about how much money he would be paid for a gig, he'd asked, "How's the bread smell?" Number 2. Ludwig van Beethoven was the first composer to receive full artistic control over the music he produced. Every composer prior to this wrote music for a living and were influenced by their employers. However, Beethoven was so well respected in Vienna that when he threatened to leave, he was given state funding and full artistic license. Number 3. The Greek national anthem is the longest in the world, at 158 verses. Sort of. The Hymn to Freedom has its original incarnation as a poem written by Dionysius Solomon in 1823. Although only the first 3 stanzas are sung in the national anthem version, the poem itself is 158 stanzas long. Thus, if you have the willpower, it is possible to sing all 158 verses to the tune of the Greek and Cypriot national anthem, making it unofficially the longest national anthem in the world. Number 4. The British national anthem was performed the most times in a single performance in 1909 in Germany. While waiting for King Edward VII, who was clearly struggling to get dressed into his field marshal uniform, a German band had to play the anthem 17 times to avoid an awkward silence before the king was presented. That's almost 40 minutes of God Save the King. No wonder that Anglo-German relations were so smooth after that. Number 5. There is such a thing as the vegetable orchestra. Comprised mostly of wind and percussion instruments, this group of musically oriented, green-fingered vegetable enthusiasts began making music together in 1998 and now perform all over the world. They even make soup for the audience out of what is left after they create their instruments. Link in the description. Number 6. American composer John Cage composed a piece called 4 minutes 33. It consists of 4 minutes and 33 seconds of complete silence. The orchestra would enter, bow, take their seats, and sit doing nothing for the duration of the piece. Number 7. Hungarian pianist Franz Liszt was perhaps the first ever musical superstar. The term listomania was coined by Heinrich Heine to describe the phenomenon of women's hysterical behavior around a musician. Musicologist Dana Gooley argues, however, that Heine's use of the term listomania was not used in the same way as Beatlemania was used to describe the intense emotion generated towards the Beatles. Instead, listomania was actually seen as a sickness. The term had more of a medical emphasis because the term mania in the 1840s was used to describe psychological disorders, whereas mania now could be applied to any social phenomenon. Listomania was regarded as a genuine, contagious medical condition, and critics tried to take measures to immunize the public. Number 8. Justin Bieber's YouTube view count is larger than the population of India and China combined. According to 2011 census estimates, the combined population of China and India totals roughly 2.6 billion, while Justin Bieber's official Vivo account has gathered more than 3 billion views. Number 9. Leo Fender, the inventor of the Fender Stratocaster and the Fender Telecaster, pioneered electric guitar building back in the 1950s along with Les Paul, but he could not play the guitar. Number 10. Pop music really all does sound the same. Spanish researchers conducted a study to analyse the diversity of popular music from 1955 to 2010. They conclude that we found evidence of a progressive homogenization of the musical discourse. In particular, we obtained numerical indicators that the diversity of transitions between note combinations, roughly speaking chords plus melodies, has consistently diminished in the past 50 years. So there you have it in black and white for anyone who wants to rant about modern pop music. Pop music really does all sound the same these days. There is a link to the Reuters article explaining the research in the description. And there you have it, 10 things you probably didn't know about music. Well, yeah.